Hi, welcome back to another episode of Coldstream Rod Shop. I'm Derek Fraser. In this week's video, we're going to be doing something on the 32 Ford Roadster. I really hope that the headers come back from the powder coater after they recoat them. If they do, we can do lots of stuff. If not, we'll pick away at a few more small things. We'll get the cowl vent put back in. The camera lady's going to start working on the bottom seat. We got the bottom of the seat with the webbing done last week. She bought a piece of foam. She'll start playing around with making the upholstery for it and stuff. Over on the Model A behind the camera lady, the bushings should be in today or tomorrow, so we'll be able to get the bushings in for the shackles on the spring, as well as the urethane bushings for the hairpin, get everything back in place, get the wheels back onto it, and then hopefully we'll be able to fire her back up for the first time of the year. Then over on the 32 Ford 5-window coupe, there's a few more things we can pick away there, and then hopefully the 35 pickup bed will have left in the next day or so to get paint. So anyway, follow along. We're going to be working on some of these hot rods. A little update on the Model A hot rod. We did finish all of the repairs. I went over from last week's video. I took it for a drive. I did some voiceover stuff describing what we were doing while I was driving. Not sure if you're going to be able to hear it or not, so I'm just going to go through it here. It was a really nice day yesterday. Went for a great drive on it. I think it was like 18 degrees Celsius, so that's in, I guess, in the low 60s Fahrenheit, somewhere like that. So first day out, the stuff that we did to it, like I said in last week's video, the car is 12 years old. I replaced the urethane bushings here. I got a hold of Horton's Hot Rods here in Canada. It was the old welder series. Talked to DW. We got a couple new urethane bushings for the hairpins, and then down front here I replaced the shackle bushings on the leaf spring. And then in the leaf spring, like before, I only had I could only stick my fingers up here between the leaf spring and the frame. And what I noticed when I took it apart, we must have hit some good bumps on the highway or expansion joints, which seem to be getting worse and worse these days. And I think she was slapping the bottom of the frame. So what I did, I added two short little leaves on the top of the spring just to give us a little bit more travel here. And although it brings the front end of the car up probably half of an inch or so, it seemed to make a lot of difference in the drivability of the car. I'd rather have it lower, of course, and maybe we can do that later by putting smaller front tires onto it. The other thing we did, we replaced the white wall tires on the front. I had a lot of scalloping on the inside and some on the outside, but it wasn't even all the way around, which kind of led me and other people to think that the tires we had weren't round because they weren't wearing evenly all the way around. So anyways, those tires again were 12 years old, so replaced them, no brainer. Then as far as the cooling system went, like I had said, we had a little bit of a leak between the thermostat housing and the aluminum intake manifold. So put a new thermostat housing onto it, put a new thermostat into it, replaced both of these hoses, started up no problem, no leaks, so it was all good. And of course, did the oil change onto it. This car probably has that oil changes every 500 to 1,000 miles just because the oil ages out. The rule of thumb is either 6 months or 10,000 miles. Well, this thing keeps getting fresh oil changes, which is not going to hurt it. So anyways, the Model A is all good for the road for this year. We probably will do a little bit of cleanup onto it and everything else, but that's finally taken care of. So there's been a little bit of an unexpected change of plans for as far as the 35 pickup bed goes. I had said before there was no way we were painting this thing. We were just going to do the bodywork to help out a friend. I was going to go to another shop to get painted, but it turns out that the other shop physically can't do it right now. And the owner of this asked me if I would reach out to Jesse, who painted the stuff for me before, if he would come along and paint this. So right now the plan is for the pickup bed to be painted this Friday, which will be after this video. So it'll be the subsequent video that we'll do it in, but you're going to see it in the back of the shop while I'm working on stuff, because looks like we're not done with it yet. So the plan will be for Jesse to come paint it, then for me to reassemble the wood into it, and then it'll go at the door. So anyway, things keep changing, keep us interesting, and we're gonna adapt and carry on. This afternoon, we're gonna do some work on Ellie's Coupe. The 35 pickup bed pretty much is ready right now for paint for the most part. We just have to go get the paint, and then on Friday we should be spraying it, so we'll get the booth all ready and everything for that. Over on the Camera Ladies Roadster, we're still waiting for the ceramic coated headers to kind of move along with that project. There's a few small things. The Camera Ladies actually working on a seat in the shop this morning or today. So kind of leaves me to tidy up some of the things on Ellie's Coupe that we wanted to do. So one of the things that I'd mentioned a few times before, we needed some small nails, which weren't that easy to find, but nevertheless, I got a little box of them there. So what I had to do is go around and actually nail the wood back in all the little spots where it was originally nailed. So we made the new wood up and then just basically go along. You have to take the needle nose pliers there to hold the nail while you nail it in place. So we've got both corner windows done, and then the rear window wood is all nailed into place there, all along the sides and up along the top. Little bit of a contortionist thing there to nail them along the top, but anyway, succeeded, got them done, so that's all good. Next thing I'm going to tackle here is the drip tray on the rear window wood. It needs a cap on the end and a drain, and there's a couple holes along the bottom here we've got to patch up, so I'm going to carry on with that and get that fixed up and get it in the coupe. There is the drip tray repair. What I've done, I welded a small piece of sheet metal on the end here. Now the original is what they had a little piece of sheet metal folded over. It was not brazed, but soldered all the way around. I've welded this all the way around, and what we'll do later on, we'll put a little piece of seam sealer on the inside. Right now it doesn't look like it's having any pinholes. More than likely this car is not going to see the rain, but just the same, we're going to try and keep it close to the original. And then what I've done, I've taken a piece of fuel line, that's the copper steel mixture. I flared the end of it, stuck it through this side, and then I brazed, or not brazed, soldered the inside of this tube to the inside of this plate here. So that's going to give us the drain that we're looking for. Next up, what I'm going to do, there's a cover that goes over here. We have it original. My friend got it from Kelly Johnson, the Deuce dealer out west. What we're going to do now is it needs a little bit of love. My friend sandblasted it, put a coat of epoxy primer on it to kind of protect it for the time being until we got to working on it. But what we'll have to do is we're going to have to flatten out some of the back here. It's concaved here and it's kind of stretched along this edge. So what I'll do is I'll flatten all that stuff out. We'll shrink this edge here on the shrinker so that we don't have that curve into it. And then additionally, there is a piece of wood that reinforces along the bottom. So whether I do it now or later, I will make up a piece of wood like that will go underneath across here where all the screws go. And anyways, once I'll get this done, I'll show you how it fits in the back of the 5-window coupe. So here's the package tray. Just like I was saying, it went in relatively good. Still a little bit of a tweaking to make it fit. But essentially it locates on the rear window wood here with 2 screws. And then likewise over there with 2 screws. and then it hooks into the drip tray with 5 quarter 20 nuts and bolts there. And then there's 5 screws to go across the top there. I've only got 3 into it right now. I got to go buy some more. But right now the plan was to get it to fit, get the wood on the bottom, and then get it in place, and then probably take it back out again and get everything painted up. But for the short term, make sure that it fits. Now, what a lot of people do is they don't keep the package trays in. What a lot of people do is they will take and just cut out this section of the package tray and either get like a piece of 3/4 inch tubing or round tubing, and what they'll do is they'll put it just along the back there and take this section out. Mainly because people nowadays are physically a little bigger than what they were in the 20s and the 30s, and we want more leg room, so we want our seat to sit further back into the coupe. Ultimately, that may happen with this. We're not sure yet, but my friend wanted to put this in first, see how it fits, get the seat into it. He did give us a trial seat there that ultimately we're gonna, it's a minivan seat. We'll cut the bottom off and make some feet for it and ultimately kind of fit it in here and see where we go. But for the meantime, everything fits in. He does have a window mechanism to fit in there, just not in place right now. But we got everything squared up, all the holes put in the right place, and I think that's success. We've got her in there so far. A little more progress on Ellie's coupe tonight. I had to finish weld the modification to the firewall. My friend had cut the firewall back when he didn't have the body, made a clearance for the distributor and to go around the valve covers. We still need to go back a little bit, but we've come up against a little bit of an issue right now. The firewall's in, the body's actually sitting probably 1/4 inch too far forward. But I think our issue right now is the body is actually resting on the gas tank pickup tubes and the vent in the back. I don't know, we can't quite see them in there, but they come down off of the gas tank and then the floor butts up against them. They're on too much of an angle. So I think what we're gonna have to do is pull the gas tank out and then rethink the way those, the pickup and the breather pipe are shaped along the tank. Worst case, if we can't do that, we might have to put like a little divot or make a little cut, recess, I guess, in the floor so that we clear everything. I'm going to talk to him about that. We'll see how that goes. But right now, I mean, the firewall fits in. It does clear. I'm not going, the ultimate goal is he wants me to weld the firewall to the cowl. That way you'll have some rigidity and stuff. Not going to do that just yet until we sort out that issue with the gas tank so that I can move the body back onto all of the body mounts. You can see here that I've got the screwdrivers in the holes right now, kind of semi-positioning it. We're probably, like I said, another 1/4 inch. We've got to go towards the back to get right on top of those holes. Once we sort that out, I'll get the body bolts in. We'll get the firewall bolts in, and then we'll work on the process of welding the firewall in place. So a little update on the Camera Ladies Roadster and the headers. The powder coater that was going to redo them, I've decided to go get them. There's another place that does high-tech ceramic coating for very high temperature exhausts. What we're going to do is we're going to take them from the place that did them where they peeled. So I don't want to take the chance of them peeling again, and take them over to a place that specializes in, well, very high temperature exhaust coatings and stuff like that. They do very high-end racing snowmobiles and everything, have a very good reputation. It's twice the price of what we paid for the first job, but you get what you pay for. So hopefully we'll get that. We'll get them off to this high-tech place. We'll get them done. Again, not going to be on this episode, but we are inching forward in the background on some of this stuff. So a little update on what we've been doing on the 5-window coupe. Right now, I have the firewall in place. As you can see, we got a bunch of vice grips and everything holding the firewall into where it should be. I have some of the bolts in place right now. So ultimately, like I said, what I've been asked to do is weld the firewall into the cowl. The reason is that on 32s in particular, sometimes you could get a little bit of a cowl shake onto them. So one solution for that a lot of people have done is that they'll actually weld the cowl in place, the firewall to the cowl. So that's what we're asked to do. Then along the back, as I was talking about earlier, I did undo the gas tank and slid it back some so that the body would sit in because there was some interference there. But what I've realized that like this frame, I think was put together by, well, it was put together by someone else before my friend got it. It's looking like the gas tank should actually sit further this way. Anyways, it may be that the bolt holes in the frame are in the wrong place from our rough dimensions. So what we're going to do, I'm going to get a spreader bar, take some dimensions off of our 32s and actually look and see. So it might have been that the gas tank was just in the wrong place, and that's why it interfered with the body. So working on that. Another thing, I'm going to talk about quite a few problems that we've come across here. Problems or things we need to solve. I guess we'll look on the positive side of things. The gas pedal or the brake pedal here, I don't know if the camera lady one comes in. On most of the engines everybody works on today, the starter is over there. The Fords, the Chevs and everything else, but this Buick has the starter right here. And if you notice, brake pedal doesn't go down very far. So we're going to have to solve that. That wasn't something either one of us anticipated. So more than likely what we're going to have to do, I'll have to reshape this brake pedal before I do the floor, the brake pedal arm that is, before I do the floor. We're going to have to bring it over here because we need, well, basically the brake pedal should start right about there, flush with the floor. That's not enough movement to make things work. So we're going to have to reshape it, bring it over here, and then more than likely the steering column is going to have to come up a little higher and over to the side, but we'll have to sort that out later. Anyways, these are some of the things you've got to figure out when you're working with different engines and different transmissions, even in these early hot rods and stuff. Another thing, I did go pick up the headers this morning from the powder coater that did them the first time. There's a local company here that does very high-tech, real deal ceramic coating. The gentleman specializes in doing, I think it's snowmobile exhausts and stuff like that. So it's very, very hot, has a very good reputation. So we're going to leave him with him. In the next 2 or 3 weeks, he promises he's going to, well, he says he's going to have them done. The guy has an extremely good reputation. He says he follows through his deadlines, so we got something to look forward there. We'll get those headers ceramic coated properly, and we'll get them on the camera lady's Roadster. And then behind the camera lady, the next 2 nights, hopefully we'll get that bed painted and get it out of here. And fingers crossed, in the next week or 2, we'll have another project coming in here. A couple were offered from the same gentleman who owns that. I don't know which one he's going to bring, to tell you the truth, but we'll find out. So anyway, that's it for this week at Coldstream Rod Shop. We've got the 29 Model A back on the road again. Hopefully you enjoyed it. It's kind of a short episode and stuff like that, but that's it for this week. Please like, share, tag, and subscribe. Come on back next week and see what we're up to. Everybody take care.